Hey everybody, it's me, Jonathan Miller, the voice of the Veil, back with another Big Hype podcast brought to you with our great sponsors, Boxer, the ticket platform for boxing promoters, boxers and fighters to get equal and easier ways around fighting stuff. Go check them out. Our preferred shout is Choice George's Place, and our other sponsor, MC Prestige, who like to think about their events management and ring sets and etc. I forget. I'm just really excited because, to be honest with you today, I've got a really, really fantastic guest joining me all the way from Australia. He is a legend in the sport, Matt, the Jedi Floyd. Matt, how you doing?
All right, man. Hey, good brother. Thanks for having me.
Hey, mate. No, my pleasure, and absolutely fantastic to have you on because I've wanted this for a little while. We'll come to how we know each other and how I got to know about you a bit more is short sec. But in the most point, we start with the podcast and I ask everyone the same questions. We're going to ask you the same question, which is how and why did you get involved in boxing?
I've always been like fighting. I was fighting growing up and I wanted to box. I did a bit of Muay Thai, mixed martial arts, and then I was getting ready for professional fighting, box. And then I ended up in prison for, kidnapping pedophiles. And then when I was in prison the whole time, I still wanted to fight. I was still, getting ready for a fight. So when I got out of prison, I finally got to have that first professional fight, and that was a bit of a fight in itself. It took a few years, but I got there in the end.
Yeah, I can imagine the board probably weren't forthcoming with a license. They're not normally that quick in coming forward for a license. So how long roughly was it between getting out and having that first fight?
It was harder for me because there was a lot of publicity. Where I'm from in West Australia, there was a lot of publicity around what I went to prison for. A lot of people were like protesting and sticking up for me. So because the public got involved, it actually affected me more because the boxing commission didn't want me to fight because a lot of people, unfortunately, were following what I did. So a lot of kids were going to prison because they were kidnapping pedophiles too after I was. And they were saying it's a bad look for the sport. So it was very hard for me to get a license. So it took me, about 3 years, maybe longer. But the thing is, I did my time. I was released. My argument was I wasn't going around hurting innocent people. I was kidnapping pedophiles, and so it was a violent offence. So it was a hard one. There was a lot of people were standing up for me and getting involved. It was one of them things where it was us against them sort of thing. So yeah, it took me. I
Yeah.
already spent all most of my 20s in prison. I've gotten out. I want to fight again, and it took me another 3 years to be able to fight in West Australia. And then when I was able to fight, I had 4 fights, won them all in West Australia. Everything was fine, didn't do anything wrong. And then the things came up on the news again about me with, stuff from my past and everything. So they banned me from West Australia again. So I can't fight. West Australia is the only place in the world I can't fight where I'm from.
Wow. Okay. So wow. Okay. Yeah. So it is quite, I should imagine, quite a diverse, diverse. That's probably not the right word. Divisive measure that obviously you're doing what you were doing, and you were trying to help, this situation. Yeah, I get that. So Western Australia not allowed to box, but allowed to box everywhere else. You turned pro in what, 2021, 2020? Was it
2020 or
just after
2021?
COVID, or was it before?
I think it was 20. I think it was
Yeah.
2020. And then yeah. Yeah.
And you've stayed super active. You've been really active all the way through until recently as well.
Yeah, well,
Trying
I've
to
had
keep involved with the sport, doing stuff.
yeah, I've had I think I've had, I've probably had about 30 fights all up. When you include like the expeditions and the, if you want to call them celebrity boxing matches or whatever. And then I had 17 professional boxing matches. I had 17 pro fights first, I think, one expedition. And then, then
Okay.
I had all the celebrity boxing matches in the BKFC fight.
Okay. So was that intentional, or was it just the opportunities presented themselves to you?
Opportunity. So I wanted to fight professionally as a boxer. I believe I was a 17-0 fighter. We got robbed in Thailand where we won every single round. Very like clearly the whole world saw that fight. I won every round, but we fought in Thailand with Thai judges. His family, the guy I fought, his family were the judges. So we protested that. I won the protest, but the Thai commission are just sitting on it. So everything's always a fight for me. And then the celebrity boxing thing just happened by accident. I was supposed to fight Darren Till. There was talks of me fighting Tommy Fury. I came to England. The fights all fell apart because KSI got sick or something like that. And then I became friends with Darren. I went over there sparring, and then I got the Shane Mosley fight. So it sort of all happened by accident. Um, and then while I was over there, I got the James DeGale fight. That was obviously the opportunity to fight headline Manchester against a big name like DeGale, and Conor McGregor was there and all that. So that was an opportunity for, I wanted to box, but obviously that was a big fight for me, so I took it.
It was a big fight. It was a great night as well, if I remember correctly as well. So I was there for the Sugar Shane Mosley fight because I introduced you for that one. So I know that was a big thing. Really interesting walkout that you had before the fight. I suppose I really should ask the question then, which is how and why did you come with the idea of being the nickname Jedi?
Jedi. So when I went pro, my mate who was the promoter was like, "Man, you should probably like think about your name because it's Matt Floyd, and Floyd, obviously Mayweather's the biggest boxing name in the world." So he wanted me to separate it. He said, "You should think about separating your name from that because it's such a big, name." It was just an idea, and I was like, my mates were around me, and I do ice baths all the time, and I always like sit in the ice for like 20, 30 minutes. Whenever I'm in the ice, my mates will be like, "How do you sit in there for so long?" And we always joke around. I just say I'm a fucking Jedi. I'm like, I've got the mind power, and also, so that's how it started. We are like, "What about the?" One of the boys was like, "What about the Jedi?" Because we're all together when we'll come up with a name. I was like, "Yeah, that sounds pretty cool," but it actually fits well. It makes sense because now as I've understand myself more as a fighter, I actually, like one of my biggest abilities in boxing is I can see everything. Like, I've got a good ability to read everything, like read what's happening. So that's almost Jedi like because the whole Jedi thing is they feel everything with the Force, etc. So it's like even Phil Sutcliffe, who's like Connor's boxing coach, even he says it's a great nickname for me. It suits me perfectly because I use the Force. And he said their thing is they've never seen anyone read punches and be able to read the fight the way I can, like my reading ability. So it sort of suits me.
So it's kind of it was done as a bit of a thing, but ultimately it was true.
Embraced it.
From what other people have said, yeah. Your fighting style. I mean, you're quite a sort of underrated, I think, technical boxer. I think, but again, because of your power style as well, you've got quite a lot of power there as well in the punches. How would you describe your style?
I'm real happy with it, man. I used to be a bit funny because I know I don't look technically perfect, but that's because I train so much in a prison cell. But it really suits me and it helps me. Like every boxer or fighter I come across, there's not one man that you'll be able to get on a podcast that's actually sparred me or been in the ring that will say they had an easy day with me. Every single, and I'm talking the best fighters in the world have all, they said I'm either one of the hardest sparring sessions they've had, or if not the hardest. So it really helps me. But it's not like I'm just, when you get these street fighters who throw punches from everywhere and it's weird. I've trained for years and years and years for many hours like this way. And I've trained with boxers and all that for hours and hours and hours. So it looks different, but it works. Like I'm very, very awkward, but in a good way. Um, and I understand boxing as well. Like I can box if I want to, but what I do works better. Sometimes you'll see me spar and I'll stand in front and box like a traditional boxer, but I like what I do. It works, and I always feel like I always feel like I've got it over whoever I've ever, as long as they're my weight. I've always had it over the other person sparring. I always feel like I'm in control of the spar or the fight with what I do. So it
Okay.
works, and
Yeah, yeah, mate, that's fine. I mean, like I said, I think it's kind of unique, and I think perhaps what you just touched on there, training in a prison cell and doing, I imagine the prison cell to be a lot smaller than a ring, and as you're moving
yeah.
around that space, you've got used to being close contact with your opposition and moving around. I guess. I mean, I'm just guessing. Is that would that be fair to say?
No, I taught myself in a prison cell. As in, like, I stood in front of a mirror. I didn't have a coach with me, correcting me and telling me this and telling me that. But I trained for hours and hours and hours. And since I've been out and I've had coaches and things like that, I've repeatedly tried to blend it together, um, and make it work. We trained in open space in prison as well, and we found bigger rooms and things like that. But I mainly did a lot
Okay,
of hours in front of like a little tiny square mirror. In my room, I'd sit in front of it for a couple of hours every day.
just getting used to it all. Yeah.
Just well, with boxing, it's just repeating the same stuff over and over. I mean, in boxing, there's what, only 7 punches. So it's just repeating the same thing. All boxing is repetition. And I was repeating the punches over and over and over again. So, you know,
7 punches of death. Yeah, similar to the 5 moves of death in WWE and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I get that, mate. I do. You say obviously you go into the fight. Do you go looking for the knockout, or are you looking to sort of take it to the range? What's your go-to plan when you're taking on an opposition?
I don't think I've ever come across any trainer or anyone with any fighting knowledge that's ever said you should ever go for a knockout. It's always go in there to fight and if the knockout's there, go, the knockout's there. My
Yeah,
understanding is the calm fighter's the better fighter. I think being calm in a fight's almost as important as fitness. I think fitness is the most important thing, and then being calm is very close to it. And then your boxing knowledge or fighting knowledge is probably comes straight after them two things. So I think, yeah, if you're real calm, so I never ever go into a fight. My biggest thing is I work on trying to be as calm as possible. If I was calm for the James DeGale fight, I would have knocked him out 100%. And that was the only fight I haven't been calm for. It's the only fight I let people get inside my head. Normally, every other fight I've been like with the Shane Mosley fight, I'm very calm and relaxed with every fight. And James DeGale, like, I dropped him twice, but I would have knocked him out 100% probably in the first round if I was calm. That's the only fight I let everyone get inside my head. I knew I could outbox him, and people were like, because he's Olympic gold medalist, everyone around me was like, because the people around me that night hadn't been around me long. They were just like good coaches who were brand new for me and hadn't been around. And they didn't think I was gonna. They didn't believe in me because they hadn't spent any time with me. So they were like, you got to smother him and rough him up and use your strength and power and blah blah blah. And that's what ruined the fight. So if I when I was calm in the second round, I dropped him twice, and then but I should have. Yeah, I just kept going back to the bad stuff.
okay, okay. So, but you learned obviously from that experience. As you just said there, you would have been more calm if you had different people around you and situations. I mean, it's quite a high profile fight, I guess, and obviously, you're just doing what you can with the materials you've got around you on that occasion. I take.
Well, my next fight, all I'm working on is now from now on, like people train and that. So I train my mind first, and then I do my normal training second and third. I think mine's real important. Being calm is real important. So that I'm really, yeah, that last fight was good for me in that sense because I'm mainly going to work on that first, and then other stuff will come after that.
So the battle is definitely won in the mind rather than on the in the rounds.
Yep. Well, my fitness and that's all there. It's going to come no matter what. So I work on my mind first. I'll do my cardio, and then I'll do my boxing.
Fair enough. Fair enough. When you transition from gloves to bare knuckle, what was the reason or rationale behind that?
To be honest, I thought I'd be fine because the way I've grown up, James DeGale said something stupid in an interview. He said he's never had a straightener, which is the worst thing he could have said. But it was probably the best thing because it got me. I was very confident that the fact that it was bare knuckle because I had so many bare knuckle fights growing up. I thought it would be the same, but it definitely wasn't the same. When you're in the ring and you're both trained for that moment, it wasn't the same as a street fight at all. So I prepared for it the in that sense the wrong way because I thought I've got this, I'll be all right. I didn't really train any different because I thought my old school sort of stuff was going to come in. Which probably worked against me to be honest. It stopped working.
Sorry, Matt. Yeah, I think we lost you for a second there.
I did you. What was the last thing I said?
To be honest, we didn't quite catch it. I think I was asking about why the changeover from bare knuckle
Oh yeah.
from boxing, sorry, to bare knuckle,
So all I said was, can you hear me now?
about the street fight. Yeah, 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 I can hear you.
Yeah, all I said was I was probably overconfident because it was a bare knuckle fight, which was probably bad, which was bad because I had so many because I've grown up the way I've grown up. I had so many bare knuckle fights growing up. I thought it was going to be much easier transition for me than for him, and that probably worked against me because the BKFC fight, the bare knuckle fight in the ring was nothing like a street fight. You've got two highly trained people that have trained for this moment both going out at bare knuckle on the street. There's always normally one person better than the other. Could be alcohol involved. Like there's a million different factors. And but this one was in the ring with a referee there who would break it up every time it wasn't punch on. So it was very different to a street fight. So that worked against me because I prepared differently in my mind. I thought I had the advantage with that, and it wasn't the case. My all my street fights I had didn't help me that night at all. It was a very different fight in the end. But I mean, it was still a fight, so you adjust and stuff.
It was a good fight. It was a good fight. Yeah. I suppose obviously you're at a point in your career now where you're looking ahead and still what's still to come, and there's still a couple of, well, a good few miles still left in the tank, I'm guessing, for you to keep going. What would be the next sort of thing you're going to be looking out for, Matt?
I've signed a 3-fight contract with Misfits, so I'll fight all them. Hopefully I'll get you Tommy Furies, and hopefully I'll beat Tommy Fury, and then what's his name, Jake Paul will probably hopefully want me to fight, fight him, and that obviously I want to fight the biggest names on Misfits, and my name's sort of up there, so hopefully we'll get there, and then but also James DeGale, they're looking at a James DeGale separate to Misfits rematch where I think they offered us, I think, like
Okay.
something stupid like £500,000, which is like over $1 million for me. But it's a winner take all fight. So like, yeah, winner takes all. So yeah, it's not a bad idea. I've signed 3 fights with Misfits, so I'll see if I'm allowed to do both, but I don't think it should be a problem. So it looks like I've got that happening in the 3 fights. So there could be a DeGale rematch.
So we'll see you back over here in the UK really shortly then.
Or on Misfits, which is separate to the DeGale thing, if that happens. Misfits, I'll be fighting I've been told I'm fighting on the 13th of June. So I know Tommy Fury is fighting Eddie Hall, and I think I'll be fighting just before him. I already know who I'm supposed to be fighting, but I don't think I'm supposed to announce it yet. So I'll keep it quiet right now.
We keep that quiet. Yeah. Let's not go into that one
I'm
too
allowed to
much.
talk about the fight. I'm pretty sure.
Fantastic. Well,
Yeah,
it
I can
sounds
talk
like
that.
you've got. Sorry, Matt, I've lost you again.
I'm pretty sure I'm allowed to talk that I've got a fight. I'm not because the name hasn't been confirmed yet. So yeah.
It's up to you. It's up to you. Okay. I'm sorry, we cut out again, so I didn't not catch
It's all right,
what you
bro.
said. Are you allowed to say about the fight or no?
No, I'm allowed to say that I'm
Let's just leave
fighting,
it there.
but
Let's
because
just
we
park
haven't,
it. Go on.
we're
Yeah,
allowed to say that we're fighting, but we haven't confirmed the opponent. I think so. That's probably why I probably couldn't name an opponent until it's been confirmed.
that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Maybe you could tell me off air and I can get the scoop myself, but obviously not for the podcast
Yeah.
today. Never mind. Fantastic. And are you going to look to, obviously the Gale fight would be another bare knuckle fight, or would it be in
No, no,
gloves, this
no.
one?
Boxing. No, no. He doesn't want to. He will never do bare knuckle again after that. He got beat up. He
Okay.
won't do bare knuckle again.
Okay. Okay. Would you do any more bare knuckle? Would you do any more BKFC or BFB,
I've got
BKB?
big boxing fight. I'm on Misfits now. Like that's one of the biggest platforms in the world, and it looks like I'm going to get all the fights that I want in boxing. I want to fight these influencers so I can raise that name because I want to fight the best boxers in the world. I believe I'll beat the best in the world, but I have to do it as quick as possible. So I think I have to fight these influencers, build my name, so then I can offer out your Canelos and that. The way I was going as I believe a 17-0 boxer, that was going to take another 5 years, and I was going to get robbed in a few more countries, and just because I've got no traditional boxing background, it was never going to happen that way for me, unfortunately, because that's the way the world is. So I've got to do this. BKFC bare knuckle.
Okay. Okay.
If they gave me a big
So are
name,
you looking at,
if if Jake Paul or Tommy Fury or one of them,
sorry,
Andrew
Matt.
Tate wanted to fight me bare knuckle, I'll do it. But unless it's one of them names.
Okay. Would you look for world titles? Would you look for like something like the IBF or the WBC or something like that as well? I know you're a WBC, is it Asia champion? Asia continent
Yeah.
champion?
Yeah. So I was fighting for a WBC silver title in Turkey, but I got fucked, by a promoter over there because I'm doing everything on my own. So I'll get robbed. And I want to fight. I've actually got a world title. I've got a WBO world title. So it's one of the shitty fucking world titles, but I didn't know that when I fought for it. I thought they were all the same world title. I didn't understand the different belts and that. But yeah, of course, I want the WBC and all that. That's what I want. I'm going to fight these influencers, build my name, and then
Mm,
have shots at them big titles against the big. Now, I want to fight the best in the world, and I want to do it, as quick as I can. I think I beat these 3 big influencers this year, and then that will give me like I was very close to fighting Billy Joe Saunders. He agreed to fighting me. They're the big names I want, like him and Canelo, and
that'd be a
even
great
Eubank
fight.
Jr. We're talking to Eubank Jr. about a fight. These fighters, bro, they tell us what they want, and then we get people back it and give them what they want, and then they don't end up fucking fighting. They're all just full of shit, man. So I got to do it the hard way.
We lost you a little bit in that. We lost you a little bit in that, but we got the gist, obviously. We want the big names. We want to go after these influencers.
Yeah.
We want to move forward and take it forward. And that's right. I mean, then the WC hopefully will come knock in, and who knows, other things. That boxing is changing daily. Whenever you look at the news sheets, there's something coming out, Zuffer or something else, or Matchroom or Queensbury or Misfits, as you mentioned, you signed with as well. There's plenty of things to come forward, I'm sure, then for you then, Matt. And I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next for you.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Is there any other hopes or dreams, obviously, after these sort of 3-fight deal that you've got, other than the World Championships?
Yeah, no, I want to fight the best in the world, man, and then that's it, bro. I'll be happy if I get the opportunity to fight the number one fighters in my weight division. That's what I want. I want to fight the best in the world at the end. Once
So what
I
are you at
fight,
the
if they
moment?
offer me the
Light,
best in the
heavy,
world tomorrow,
cruiser?
light heavyweight. If they offer me the best in the world tomorrow,
Yeah.
or even super middleweight, I fought Shane Moses at super middle. I can do super middle light, and if it's the right name, I would go up to the cruiser. You know what I mean? But light heavyweight, super middle, the main ones. And I want to fight the best in the world. If they gave me the best in the world tomorrow, a couple, names, I'd be happy. I'd be content now. I just want to show, myself that I can beat the best in the world.
That's the way. That's the way. Matt, the Jedi Floyd, then thank you so much for coming on the Big Hype Podcast. We're just going to do our final round. So are you ready for your final round? Seconds out, final round. So southpaw or orthodox?
Orthodox.
Body shots or headshots?
Headshots.
Train alone or with a partner?
Train alone.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Night owl. Heavy bag or speed bag?
Heavy bag.
Heavy bag. Underdog or favourite?
Underdog.
Okay. Boxing gym or outdoor training?
Boxing gym.
Okay. Short and powerful punches or the long and technical game?
Short and powerful.
Fight dirty or fight clean?
Fight dirty.
Fight loud crowd or quiet atmosphere?
Loud.
Quick knockout or strategic win?
Strategic win.
Okay. AJ or Fury?
AJ.
Fantastic. Matt, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. How do people get involved? How do they follow your journey? Where can they find you on your socials?
Matty the Jedi Floyd on Instagram.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, I'm going to wish you every success. I'm looking forward to seeing those Misfits fights now when they're announced. Hopefully the Child to Gale one gets over the line there as well. And I look forward to seeing that one because that would be a fantastic fight rematch made as well. So you've got lots of history there as well. Matt, is there anything you'd like to say before I thank you again for coming on the podcast today?
No, it was all good, man. Thanks for having me, bro.
No worries at all. My pleasure. We look forward to seeing
Thanks,
your future and look forward to following you and seeing more. Thanks again for coming on the Big Hype Podcast today.
Thanks, brother. See you, brother. See ya.
Take care.
This has been a Big Hype production, edited and produced by Jonathan Millard, assisted by Riverside FM and distributed by Buzzsprout, available on all good podcast platforms. For more information, visit www.bighypepodcast.co.uk.